Aaronimoses, gang. Peep this, man. We walking down Fig, doing it big. Look, the message for today is pretend like nobody cares. Because they don't. Nigga, look, peep this. Now, there's a certain OG that I just have much love and much respect for. And the reason that I have much love and much respect for this particular OG is because he's a very charming, charismatic, magnetic person. And we began to interact with each other when he was going through something that was not particularly pleasant. But the way that he delivered it, oh, look at this. This cat is no longer. Sad. RIP to that cat. But at the end of the day, the reason that I do things for a lot of people is not necessarily because I care. It's because I know that I don't want to say that nobody cares about you and what you got going on. And, I've had a lot of toxic information given to me. Such as people don't care about you, they only care about what value you can. Man, shut up, bro. That's not necessarily true. Like, oh, the only person that could care about you is your kids and your mom. Nigga, that's not true. You sound like a scorned baby mama that needs child support for the past 50 years. Bro, if anything, why would I tell that to the youth? Bro, no. Yes, I care. You care. We all care. We all care. It's hella people that you never met that care about you, bro. So you do need to know that. But I think what you do need to understand is if you actually pretend, if you take the day out your time, the day out your life, the time out your life to actually pretend, put yourself in a mental box. If you ever been in jail before, bro, and you ever been sitting there and it's a grown-ass man taking a shit in the same 8 by fucking 10 cell, 7 by 3 cell, when you gotta eat, but this man has to take a sheet, nobody cares about you, bro. And I know people, such as myself, whose own mother doesn't even care if they live or they don't. You know what I'm saying? But it made me a much stronger person, bro. I gotta make sure you like this video. I've been in a lot of situations where it was life, nigga, or death. And I knew I couldn't count on anybody but myself. But the fact that people were reaching out to me, the fact that people were actually putting that energy in my life, you think that made me a stronger person or a weaker person? Pretend like nobody cares, bro. Because you could break it down in all kind of psychological ways. Oh yeah, people only care about how you make them feel or the value you add to their lives. Or they only care about you because, you represent the same genetic disposition. They only care about you because they don't have a choice. Of course your children care about you. Of course your mom cares about you. Of course your auntie and your grandma and your uncle care about you because they don't have a fucking choice. When you actually sit down and think about it, if you've ever been depressed, depression meaning a strong amount of sadness for more than 3 days on a consistent basis, it's really fucking depressing when you understand that people really can't care about you because you're not them. And they only care about you because you're related to them. On a genetic level, they only care about you because you being alive supports them and their offspring being alive. Motherfuckers don't care about you, bro. And that's okay. That's where the enlightenment, that's where the joy comes in. That's where the selfishness sets in, the healthy selfishness, the healthy egotism, the healthy arrogance. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that everybody doesn't have to give a fuck about your stupid ass goddamn existence. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not on shit. You don't add value to... Bro, really only 20% of people actually add value to the life that we all know as existence. Besides, oh yeah, every time I go to McDonald's, he makes sure to not put pickles on it and add extra onions. First of all, you shouldn't be eating onions anyway. No, you probably should. They're pretty delicious. But, bro, you gotta turn up your hustle, my nigga. You gotta understand that you have to add value to the world. You have to understand that there are people who are vampires that only want blood, that only want what you can produce. And if this is a male you're dealing with, we call that person a hoe ass nigga, an opportunist, if you will. Somebody that thrive that only goes off of politics. Somebody who's not gonna do their job as a fucking man, but they're gonna only see what you add to their lives so they can take it and so they can capitalize off it. Where did I learn that from? There's a very famous poet, one of my most favorite poets in the world. I know you niggas think I don't read and I don't listen to poetry. There's a famous poet. I want you to Google him. His name is Radrick Davis. And he wrote a poem called First Day Out. And in that song, in that poem, he said, quote unquote, Gucci back, bitch. Yeah, I'm back, bitch. Did you miss me or miss my raps, bitch? And as a 14, 15-year-old, when that song dropped, it made me actually ponder. Do they miss me or do they miss my raps? Do they miss me or do they miss my illegal pharmaceutical business? Do they miss me or do they miss my dick? Do they miss me or do they miss the fact that I can make them laugh and forget about their bullshit? Do you actually miss me? No, you don't. And that's okay, motherfucker. You can't make a motherfucker care about you, my nigga. And that's okay. Because only a few even people you grew up with, people I grew up with, they don't give a fuck about if I live or if I don't. Did I scratch my hand again? God damn. So Lex said, quick question. What's your opinion on CD? I'm not talking about, I don't know what that is. CD's nuts? Nah, I'm just playing. But nah, people can, because with me, I genuinely understand that we need to be able to transcend the feelings that we have towards each other, as human beings. That's my whole goal. Because the reason that we have these feelings and these emotions and these predispositions is because we're still thinking on a cellular level. Nigga, you have the same state of mind, not you in particular, but a lot of people have the same state of mind as a literal cell. As a literal cell that doesn't have real consciousness, that's not living. It's living, but it is not. It doesn't have consciousness. Do you know what the definition of a living organism is? The definition of a living being is a being that can reproduce, that produces waste, and what's the third one? That can reproduce, that produces waste, and shit. This is like third grade biology. Reproduce, produces waste, and that breathes and requires water. Those are the 4 elements of a living organism. And nigga, that's all you do? That's all you do? Your whole point is for you to, and you need to study cellular evolution and evolutionary psychology. You're no different than a fucking virus, my nigga. That's all you think about. It's what you could get out the situation as long as you could eat, as long as you could shit, and as long as you could fuck. If you can't eat it, if it doesn't help you breathe better or help you go on to the next day and it doesn't get you some pussy or some dick, that's your that's not life, my nigga. How are you bettering the world? You only interact with people. It's just certain behaviors that are hardwired into human beings that it doesn't necessarily reflect character flaws, but it certainly doesn't make you better than the next person, bro. Being selfless, one thing. I made that video about simps. Bitch ass nigga, you're a simp. You want to give certain things in order for you to get certain things back. I want to empower the people. And if I get some pussy on the way, so be it. I can't really do too much about that. But at the end of the day, my nigga, you do have to understand, you gotta transcend this shit. You have to take what you have, your resources, your time, your energy, your money, your attention, the most important resources. And you have to use those things to transcend natural human behavior, your natural instincts. Am I telling you that if somebody smacks you in the face to turn the other cheek? Heavens no. Beat that nigga's ass. But it's certain behaviors that you just have to graduate from. You have to gradually graduate from and get the fuck away from that. Stop acting like a single cellular being, nigga. That's what I'm start calling yo. That's what I'm start calling these bitches. If you don't get your single cellular being, face, neck, body ass the fuck away from me, whore. You know what I'm saying? It's old singer cellular. These niggas are acting like some single cellular beings out here, bro. You just want to eat, fuck, and breathe and create waste? Nah. Fuck this nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? And Aaron Moses, okay, bro, that's what the fuck I'm on, bro. I don't feel like doing reactions to black people getting arrested every day. That's not my steez. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me sad. It makes me want to